From Saucon Valley High School in Hellertown, Pennsylvania, Twin County Cable 4 Sports presents Colonial League Basketball. Tonight's matchup features the Saucon Valley Panthers. They're coached by Rich Mattis. They come into this game with a 1-2 record in the league. They are 2-3 overall. They'll take on the Southern Lehigh Spartans. They're coached by Bob Schaefer. They come in with a 4-2 overall record. They are 2-1 in the league. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Laubach, along with Dan Marakovitz. This is our last basketball game for the 1991 year, and we wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday season. Danny, this is a big ball game for both of these two teams because they're teams that appear at least to be the kind of team that may cause some damage as they progress because they're both rather young and inexperienced.
Well, Saucon has some similarities in regards to Easton because they're looking for that fourth and fifth man to step forward in comparison to a very young and Bambi-like Southern Lehigh team.
Well, you'll see how young they are. Let's take a look at their starting five. This is a team that starts, Dan, 3 sophomores, and all 3 of those sophomores are playing very well.
Well, Jim Coyle loves to shoot the ball. He's an offensive-minded player. And if he scores above 20, Saucon Valley usually wins the Southern Lehigh usually wins the contest.
He is going to be a major concern for the Saucon Valley defense.
But if this game is going to be won, it's going to be the Southern Lehigh's 1-1, 2-1 pressure and falling back into man-to-man. That's going to play a key part in the win tonight if Southern Lehigh goes on to win here in Saucon Valley.
Those other sophomores for Southern Lehigh is Bryan McKee. We'll also get a look at his older brother who will come in off the bench, and he has been playing very well off that bench. The other sophomore is Dan Welker. He's averaging 9 points per ball game. So these 3 young players are really playing quite well. And, of course, Bob Schaefer believes that his team will only get better as the year progresses.
Well, the major thing about Southern Lehigh is their size. They're going to pressure the ball. They're going to trap the ball after the first pass, Gary. But it doesn't matter if they get the good trap or not because they got Rob Hamilton waiting for a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 in the paint. He's 6'5". You either got to take it to him or shoot over him. In either case, Southern Lehigh usually comes out on top.
Well, when we talk about shooting, that really has been the problem for Saucon Valley. They had just had trouble putting the ball in the basket. Let's take a look at their starting 5, and we'll talk about the guys who haven't had the problem and the guys who have had the problem. First of all, for Saucon, you'll notice a couple of guys. Bryan Brunnabend, along with Shawn Crouthamel. These 2 guys are back from last year's team. Dan, a team that went 19-9, surprised everybody. Everybody, I think, thought that this team may pick it right back up again to start this year, but they really haven't been able to find the 3rd, 4th, and 5th player to come in and really help those 2 guys in the scoring department.
Well, the one guy that Coach Mattis is counting on is Eric Madej. Madej has to come through not only defensively but offensively. If he puts some points on the board and can handle the 1-1, 2-1 pressure by the Spartans from Southern Lehigh, Saucon Valley is in the contest.
One of the problems Saucon Valley has coming into this ball game is that Jason Hoppus, normally a starter for them, is ill and probably will not play. He will be in uniform. He may see some action. In his place, Brian Lipp, a sophomore who has seen quite a bit of action, normally the first guy off the bench for Rich Mattis' team. He will be in there. One of the things you really can't coach is shooting. The kids almost normally, by the time they reach this level, have got to shoot the basketball. The key probably tonight, if Saucon Valley is going to win, is they have to shoot better than they have been.
Well, they love to go inside the Crouthamel, but the problem that Coach Mattis has had early in the season is that defenses will adjust and force him to take the perimeter shot. Brunnabend will hit it, but that's not enough. So you need for a guy like Madej to step forward, put some points on a board, open up some lanes, and therefore the Saucon Valley guards can penetrate and then dump off and give Crouthamel some easy points.
This is a league that looks like it's going to be led by Salisbury or perhaps Nazareth. Salisbury knocked off Catasauqua. They played them very tough on Tuesday night. I think they beat them by about 7. But, of course, Antoine Hubbard had a kind of like a Dan Marakovitz type game.
Well, I never had 50, that's for sure, and Coach Gabrilik is still getting nightmares from that performance by Hubbard. But Coach Pollock, once again, is sitting in the driver's seat, but pay very close attention tonight, Gary, to the Wilson-Salisbury game, because if they're going to win, the bench, the reserves, are going to have to play an important part in Wilson for Coach Pollock's team to come up on top. He has an injury, he has a guy sick. It should be an interesting contest. Then you have Caddy, you have Nazareth. Even though Caddy lost, don't rule him out in the second half. It's a veteran squad. Coach Gabrilik is going to have his team ready in the second half, and Nazareth is always tough, and they're exceptionally tough to beat Nazareth over Nazareth. It's a great league this year.
And neither one of these 2 coaches believe that they're out of it either. Remember, this is a 2-half situation in the Colonial League, and both of these teams think they can make some noise in that second half. We'll see what kind of noise they make here at Saucon Valley tonight. We'll have tip-off coming your way right after this timeout.
Some home equity lenders tease you with low introductory rates. Not the money store. Right now, we're offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. That means after 90 days, your low rate would be 7.5%. And after 2 years, just 7.5%. The money store guarantees your low fixed rate will never go up. Apply right now. 1-800-LOAN-YES. The money store where America goes for money.
What are you doing here at ABE Car Care Center?
Well, I'm going to get a new muffler and a state inspection. Boy, these guys do good work, and they don't charge nearly as much as some of these other guys do.
Well, it's about time you realize that. You're such a winner, Fitz, and besides that, you're cheap.
What do you mean, cheap?
Well, I heard you got short arms and deep pockets.
Well, the way you fill out those pants, you can't even get your hands in your pockets.
Car Care Plus at ABE Car Care Centers.
World Championship Wrestling presents the Sports Spectacular of the season. Stargate 91. 40 of the biggest names in wrestling go head-to-head in 10 wild luck-of-the-draw tag team matches. Winners advance to the brutal Battle Bowl, where it's every man for himself. Who will emerge victorious? Anything goes in the ultimate challenge of skill, luck, and survival. Stargate 91 Battle Bowl, the Lethal Lottery, December 29th, live only on pay-per-view.
Pile-driving action is yours for the asking with WCW Stargate 91 on Viewer's Choice.
It's cold outside.
You're a very strange man.
Bitter cold.
You have no idea.
So come on inside. Because HBO is on fire with heavyweight action and red-hot exclusives like Reversal of Fortune, Hamlet, and Predator 2. The hottest lineup you'll warm up to this winter. So call now for simply the best. HBO in December.
Let's get hot.
Welcome back to Saucon Valley Gymnasium. The Southern Lehigh Spartans are being introduced. Number 20 is Bryan McKee. He's a 6'2 sophomore, averaging 6 points a ball game. 32 is Jim Coyle, a 6'4 sophomore, leading scorer on the team at 17 a game. 34 is Chris Taylor, 6'1 senior, 9 points per ball game. Number 40 is Dan Welker, a 6'5 sophomore, 9 points per ball game. And 52, Rob Hamilton. He is a 6'5 senior, 7.5 points per ball game. The head coach for Southern Lehigh is Bob Schaefer. There you get a look at Bobby. He's in his 4th year as the head mentor, 4-2 on the year coming in. Saucon Valley, the Panthers send out number 10, Brian Brunnabend, 5'9 junior, averaging 13 points a ball game. Eric Madej, number 13, is a 5'10 senior. He's averaging 4 points a ball game. Number 34 is Brian Lipp, a 5'11 sophomore, averaging 3 points a ball game. 32 is Jeff Rudolph. He is a 6'3 senior. He's averaging 3 points a ball game. And number 44 is Shawn Crouthamel. He is a 6'5 junior, averaging 17 points a ball game. So good inside-outside scoring out of Brunnabend and Crouthamel. They're just looking for a 3rd or 4th man to pick up the scoring slack. Saucon Valley coached by Rich Mattis. He's in his 4th year as the head coach, 1-2 in the league, 2-3 overall. Our officials for tonight's contest, you'll get a look at them, and it is Ron Singer and Bill McKinley. Bill McKinley on the left, and Ron Singer, former opponent. Dan, I used to play against Ron in high school.
I can remember Ron when he was doing JV games about 13, 14 years ago, Gary. Worked his way up.
He did, and you were coaching at the time?
Yes, I was.
Dan has worked his way down, and that is the voice of Dan Marakovitz, and we're happy to be here tonight. Our final basketball game for 91, and our best wishes to everyone out there.
And we're going to get a close look at the size of Southern Lehigh, Gary. That matches a Muhlenberg, Lehigh, or Lafayette College when it comes to height.
And Crouthamel will not back away from the Southern Lehigh size. He's a big kid, too. Brian Brunnabend looking at a man-to-man defense. Drops the ball off to Lipp. Back outside to Madej, and they're going to work against the man-to-man.
And let's pay special attention to the Crouthamel versus Rob Hamilton duel.
Down inside, nice pass to Rudolph. They get the ball back outside.
Nice block by Welker on Rudolph, as Rudolph had the inside position.
Madej from the outside, jump shot, drops it through.
We said at the top of the show, if Benet can light it up from the outside, that gives the Panthers another dimension offensively.
And we already get an interesting look on that shot there of the three-point zone as a little bit different paint style, kind of like op art down here at Saucon Valley.
Contemporary. It's the new look.
All right, Southern Lehigh will go the other way, and they get a jump shot immediately out of Jimmy Coyle, and he drops it down through the bottom of the hole, and we're tied at 2. Here is the Southern Lehigh pressure defense.
They like to trap the first pass.
And our first turnover of the ball game. It is Saucon Valley that turns it over.
We talked about how well Hamilton plays the back of the press. There he intercepted a lob pass, turnover, Saucon Valley, possession, Southern Lehigh.
The really big men in this ball game are very mobile big men. There's a little follow-up shot up and in by McKee. Bryan McKee went over top.
You mentioned mobility. You saw some mobility by number 20, Bryan McKee.
There's a nice, good, strong pass. We're going to get a foul here. It's going to be called on number 20, Bryan McKee, his first, team's first.
Saucon bothered by the pressure, Gary. They break the initial trap, the entry pass, that they have a very difficult time adjusting when they get to the other end of the floor where it's 2-on-1 and Mr. Hamilton is waiting for him.
That slip, get it back out to Brunnabend. That was supposed to be a shot. Southern Lehigh covered it very nicely. They're in a 2-3 zone on the out-of-bounds play.
Give credit to McGee. He was right there with a hand in Brunnabend's face. He could not shoot over the much taller McGee.
Brunnabend, a little baseline move. He shoots too hard. Rebound controlled by Taylor.
Southern Lehigh looks to run the ball up the floor.
They do just that. Get it on the inside. Slapped away by Crouthamel.
Crouthamel came out of nowhere. McGee thought he had an easy one. Crouthamel saw it differently as he swatted the ball back out of bounds.
He is an outstanding athlete. Played good football. There's a jump shot from the outside for 3 by Dan Welker, our first three-pointer of the night. It's 7-2 Southern Lehigh.
Saucon's really having trouble with that initial trap. The pressure is real hard. They cannot find the open man as they must resort to a long lob pass, which Hamilton is playing center field on like Ricky Henderson back there.
There's Lip to Madej.
Man-to-man by the Spartans. They want to get the ball inside to Crouthamel. They've been unsuccessful so far.
Hamilton's doing a good job playing behind him here. There's a little screen for Brunnabend. He doesn't use it, but Madej takes the jumper. Nice rebound, controlled inside by Welker.
Nice outlet pass.
Team wants to run. Good defense that time. Coyle is stopped. Nicely played by Rudolph.
Brunnabend stopped the penetration, did not allow a transition field goal, but the Spartans retained possession.
There you get a good look at Rich Mattis on the bench doing some defensive yelling. They're going to look at a 3-2 now on the out-of-bounds play. Turnaround jump shot, Welker. That's blocked nicely by Crouthamel.
Second block for Shawn.
(7-2) Southern Lehigh. Brunnabend gets it down to Crouthamel. Back outside to Madej. Brunnabend with a three-pointer. In and out, won't go. Rebound controlled by Hamilton.
Boy, a size a factor for the Southern Lehigh Spartans. They've come up with every missed shot. There's no second shots for the Panthers.
Saucon back into a 2-1-2 zone this time. Way outside Welker. That won't go. Rebound controlled by Hamilton. Does a nice job slapping it away. It's backcourt.
Ronnie Singer right at the right spot making that call as Saucon Valley played some heads-up defense.
Dan, all of a sudden, we had about a 2-minute scoring drought here by both teams. 4:25 on the clock, first period.
Size is the contributing factor, which is not allowing Saucon to hit from the perimeter.
Jim Floor looks very attractive here at Saucon. They have redone things here, and it really has dressed the gym up nicely. Jump shot by Lip. Yes.
Lip with a nice, soft, left-handed shot as here we see some full-court pressure by the Panthers.
Jimmy Coyle with the basketball, drops it off nicely. A little move inside by Welker, and that shot's blocked again by Crouthamel. We've got a foul called against Southern Lehigh. So Crouthamel's been a real defensive force. That foul is on Welker.
Well, one more block, Gary. He'll have Manute Bowles' average for the game, which is 4.
I'm sure that's what he's working towards.
Well, he watched the highlight film before the game.
The Manute Bowl Award is going to be given out. There's another jumper by Lip.
Lip being a replacement tonight for Jason Hoppus. Hits 2 nice field goals.
Crouthamel got the steal, and then he threw it away. Hamilton, no. Rebound follow-up, yes, by Taylor.
Hamilton couldn't get it, but Taylor was right there to follow it up. Here comes the pressure. Brunnabend breaks the pressure pretty easily. Southern Lehigh falls back to a man-to-man after they utilize a 1-2-1-1 full-court press. Pretty tough to do sometimes, Gary.
They've always been a real good, quick defensive team since Bobby Schaefer has taken over. He relies heavily on the man-to-man, but of course the zone pressure after a score has helped them jump out to a 3-point lead here. It's 9-6, 3 minutes on the clock. Madej, he's playing catch out front with Lip and Brunnabend down inside Crouthamel. His first shot, he puts it up and in.
Whoa, he was up and over Rob Hamilton. He wanted the ball, Gary. And there's a takedown. Scott Barr could have called that one.
They'll come back outside with the basketball is McKee. He wants a left-handed jump shot. That won't go. Nice strong rebound inside, up and in by Coyle.
Once again, we're being repetitious, and it's in the first quarter, but the size of Southern Lehigh is taking its toll.
Southern Lehigh has 7 rebounds in this ballgame, only 1 by Saucon Valley. There's a good block by Hamilton, the follow by Crouthamel. Crouthamel, Dan, is all over the place.
Yes, he is. Defensively, he blocked 3 shots already. He followed a block that time by Lip as he went in against Hamilton. Hamilton's a force and knows how to play the 2-on-1. You're going to see exactly what I mean here is Lip must take the drive, but Hamilton's right there to answer it. Crouthamel at the right place at the right time with some good hustle, Gary.
He is a hard worker. The foul shot off the back of the iron, the first foul shot of the evening by anybody. 11-8, Saucon trails by 3.
Hard worker and a 3-sport athlete.
A great tight end in football, pretty good defensive player himself. Misses both shots. Lip battling on the inside. We're going to get a jump ball, and it'll go to Southern Lehigh.
Lips has been impressive so far with his overall hustle and his nice shooting touch. He's pulling his team back to within 3.
There we see some of the cheerleaders in the fans for Southern Lehigh. We want to congratulate Bob Bittler, the head football coach here at Saucon Valley. He was the runner-up for the Express Coach of the Year. Only 2 losses this year, both to Catasauqua. They had a pretty fine season, going up undefeated. We're going to get a foul on the outside called against Brunnabend. That's the first Saucon Valley foul of the game.
Interesting zone employed by Coach Mattis. He likes to work the 3-2 zone against Southern Lehigh because their ability to shoot from the perimeter. But what I like about that zone, Gary, he puts Shawn Crouthamel at the point, which makes it extremely difficult for them to get shots from on top of the key.
They'll bring it back outside. They'll let Bryan McKee set everything up. Go to the corner. 34 is Taylor. Welker drops it down to Hamilton. Good ball movement. Nice little 3-point shot that will not fall, taken by Coyle.
Oh, nice heads-up play.
The basket will count by Crouthamel. The foul is called on Coyle.
Crouthamel was worried about Bryan McKee, but Hamilton snuck up from behind, and usually, Gary, when you come from behind, the official's going to make the call. Here we're going to see a nice up fake to rid the defense. Hamilton fouls from behind, and Crouthamel has a chance for a 3-point play.
And he also has a chance to tie this ball game up, and that's exactly what he does as we're tied at 11.
No pressure by the Panthers as they are content to drop back to their 3-2 zone.
Final minute and a half of the first quarter. It's been a good quarter of basketball. 11-11. Welker tries to go down the paint, drops it off. Put up and in. Nice drive by Bryan McKee.
Good quickness by McKee as he just read the defense correctly and drove baseline, laid it up and in over everybody.
We're going to have to redefine our terms here. The paint is not the lane at Saucon Valley.
The paint is from the lane to the 3-point line.
Lip
Drops it off. Trying to get down the lane is Rudolph.
Blocked by number 20, Bryan McKee.
Again, Lip comes up with a loose ball, however. Madej, baseline, yes.
Madej with a quick release. You must have a quick release against the Southern Lehigh team.
Who said they had trouble shooting?
Not me.
They're going to play for one, are the Spartans. 32 seconds on the clock, tied at 13 apiece.
You can see number 44. He looks big, standing in the paint, outside the paint area.
He is a big, solid kid. He is Shawn Crouthamel, 6'5", a junior.
Lean.
And no matter which coach you talk to, you get a different pronunciation of his name. Jump shot from the corner. That won't fall for Taylor. The follow-up does fall.
Second opportunities have helped the Spartans as they take a 15-13 lead to end this first quarter of Twin County Cable 4 sports action.
So Welker gets the follow-up, and it is a 2-point lead. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I think one of the things you'll notice right away if you visit Scott Lot is the way our cars look. They're cars that we have put through our service shop. They're reconditioned, they're guaranteed. Many of our cars have the remainder of the factory warranty, which really gives new car protection to the used car buyer. There's no question in my mind that you can't find a better selection of higher quality, affordable cars in the Lehigh Valley. The cars we sell are cars for people who want the look and feel of a new car without the new car price.
I remember my mom going to Walter's Pharmacy. Now I go. Walter's fills my prescription needs quickly, and I pay my Bell of PA and UGI bills. When I can't get away, Walter's comes to me with free delivery. Walter's Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care since 1937. Walter's Pharmacy, 401 North 17th Street in the Allentown Medical Center.
John Stone is undercover, under fire, undertaking his toughest assignment yet. All-American Bryan Bosworth is charging into your home in Stone Cold. The excitement never stops on Viewer's Choice. Explosive action is yours for the asking when you order Stone Cold on Viewer's Choice. Blasting into your home on Viewer's Choice, Steven Seagal. He can take a compliment.
Hey, baby.
He can take an insult.
So you still comb your hair like a girl.
He can even take a punch.
I'm starting to get in a bad mood, you know?
But what this cop's really best at is taking out the garbage. Steven Seagal is out for justice. For hard-hitting action that never stops, order Out for Justice on Viewer's Choice.
The Allentown Sports Medicine Clinic is one of our fine sponsors. They've been providing medical care to area high school athletes for over 10 years. The Allentown Sports Medicine Clinic, located across from the fairgrounds in the west end of Allentown. 1732 Street is their address. They offer the team approach to the athletic injury. Both teams shooting pretty well as Southern Lehigh shot 46% in that first quarter. Saucon Valley shot 50% in the first quarter. And Dan, they were down 7-2, but then they made a pretty nice comeback, got the ball down inside, and they've been shooting pretty well from the outside.
Well, they couldn't handle the pressure at the early stages of the game, but Saucon adapted, adjusted, pulled the ball out after they beat the 1-2-1-1 and got themselves back in the ballgame. Gary, the difference has been the rebounding strength of Southern Lehigh on the offensive end of the floor.
All right, 7:50 as we start the second period. 15-13. Saucon Valley has the basketball.
It's a real battle inside between Hamilton and Crouthamel. You can see it on your screen.
Baseline Madej, back outside to Brunnabend. Bryan's been kind of quiet so far in this ball game.
Southern Lehigh still in their man-to-man defense.
The defense is very tough outside because they're so big. Hard for a Brunnabend at 5'9" to shoot over a McKee at 6'2". This is Lip.
In fact, they want you to take that shot. They rely on their quickness and their size, Gary.
Good Southern Lehigh defense.
Here comes Crouthamel.
Crouthamel does the turnaround shot, won't go. Rebound controlled by Welker.
Credit Hamilton to making Crouthamel not take his normal shot as he had to fade away, Gary.
Saucon stays zone. Over to the outside. Work the ball around. This is Welker. Welker back outside to McKee. Coyle's been kind of quiet here in the early part of the ball game. That jumper by Coyle doesn't go. Rebound inside, up and in easily by Welker.
Crouthamel had it, misplayed it, went right into the hands of Welker as he laid it up ever so softly with the left hand.
Tried to play it off of a Spartan leg unsuccessfully. McKee is there to just simply lay it up and in. 19-16, Southern Lehigh on a run.
Saucon must look up for their entry pass because the corners are just trapped so effectively that the size of Southern Lehigh pays high dividends with their press carry.
Nick McKee, our first sub, comes into the ball game, replacing his brother Bryan McKee. Bryan probably just made a big mistake. He had Saucon Valley in the worst possible spot, and instead of just waiting for things to develop in that area, he committed a foul, and he'll sit down because he has 2 personal fouls, 5 team fouls on the Spartans. This is Lip. Lip's working against Jimmy Coyle. Lip goes down the lane and picks up a foul. Lip with a good start here in period 1 and 2.
Gary, you have to like the way Lip takes the ball, jab steps, looks the defense off, and if he's able to penetrate, he does. During the first quarter, they were giving Lip the jump shot. However, he hit 2 field goals, and now it's more of an honest defense. And that time, you just saw Lip outquick his man, take him to the hole, and was fouled.
One thing to look for, Southern Lehigh has now committed 16 fouls already. It's early in the second period. Saucon Valley has only committed 1 team foul. So the next time Southern Lehigh fouls, it'll be at least a 1-and-1 for the Panthers.
Let's see. I know Coach Schaefer thoroughly enjoys the man-to-man, but he is getting into foul trouble, and Saucon is not hitting from the perimeter. Let's see if there's a defensive adjustment made by Coach Schaefer.
They're not hitting from the foul line either. They're 1 out of 5. That jump shot out of the wing won't go for Nick McKee. Rebound controlled by Rudolph. Up the floor, try to get it to Crouthamel. Knocked out of bounds by Nick McKee.
Coach Mattis wants his team to run, but wants his team to run under control.
He also wanted that pass in Crouthamel's hands a little sooner. I think that's what "get it down there" means.
Probably.
Vehemently shouted by head coach Rich Mattis.
You're really picking up the body language this year, Gary. I'm impressed.
Well, that was more than body language. That was verbal language. Trying to go to Crouthamel. He has been hounded by Hamilton. Turnaround shot, easy.
Hamilton cannot allow Crouthamel to shoot over the top. He must front Crouthamel inside, or else I'm afraid Shawn will have a field day if Hamilton continues to play him behind.
Crouthamel has 7 points of the 15. It's 19-15. Southern Lehigh, they have never trailed in this ball game.
Saucon stays in their 3-2 with Crouthamel on the point.
Good job by Crouthamel. Great defense coming down to stop the baseline drive of Jim Coyle.
He's on the point, Gary, but when the ball's in the corner, he's down low. It's an unorthodox move, but it works with a guy his size.
Nice pass down the Lip. Lip's going to hold things up. Picks up his dribble.
He exercised good judgment on that one. He saw Mr. Hamilton. He explored his options, Gary.
That's right. Hamilton took away a couple of them.
Now, that's a counseling term, Gary. I'm not sure if I'm getting through to you.
Well, I do the best I can with your theories. This is Lip. Way outside. Brunnabend for 3. Won't go. Rebound Lip. Lip can't get it over top of Coyle. Out of bounds. Saucon Valley ball.
Gary, the rebound looked great by Lip. He wanted to go power. He went power, but it didn't work.
He's having one of those right spot, right time games tonight. That's exactly where he's been on a number of occasions. His team trails by 4, 4:09, second period.
And it appears that Southern Lehigh, I think, is in his own defense.
Way outside Madej for 3. That won't go. Rebound controlled inside by Hamilton. quickly down the floor. A little fake. We've got an offensive foul on Chris Taylor.
Credit number 13, Eric McKee, in stopping that fast break field goal as he stood his ground and took the charge.
Mark Campbell, the next sub off the bench, will be coming in shortly for Southern Lehigh. So Saucon not subbing at all. Southern Lehigh is going to be going to play their 7th player here in the first half. With Hoppus out, Saucon doesn't have many options. That won't go. Rebound controlled by Welker.
That time Saucon broke the pressure, set their offense, was not able to score. But that's what Coach Mattis wants.
Saucon has been very cold here to start the second period. They shot well in the first period at 50%. They've only scored 1 bucket. That shot from the outside won't go. There's Crouthamel. Take it down on the miss by Taylor. Bryan, McKee, and Campbell waiting to come back in for Southern Lehigh.
Crouthamel wants to go, but he's double teamed down low.
Brunnabend can't hit the 3. Quick outlet pass. The Spartans are on the move.
No defensive changes for the Panthers as they continue to play the 3-2 zone, and Southern Lehigh struggles from the perimeter.
There's a foul or a block. It's a block. Jump ball. The possession arrow says Southern Lehigh basketball.
The block wasn't by Crouthamel, but he had a lot to do with changing the position of that shot as he charged down the baseline in search of the dribbler.
And I think Rudolph was in search of the ball. Sounds like a Star Trek movie here. In search of ball.
Checking your science fiction knowledge.
Good defense by Brunnabend. This has been a tough zone defense. That shot out of the corner. You can't let Coyle by himself. He averages 16 or 17 a game. He has 6 so far. Up the floor. Rudolph. Oh, he's blocked. Is he fouled?
I don't know.
Foul's going to be on 44, Mark Campbell. The block was by 24, Nick McKee.
You have to like the good decision by Rudolph as they break the pressure rather easily. Here comes the pass. He knows he wants to take it to the middle. A little hesitation. Was their body, Gary?
Well, they didn't call the foul on Coyle, but they did call the foul on Campbell. Looked like he might have bumped him just a little bit. Foul shot by Rudolph is up and in.
21-16, Southern Lehigh on top. Boy, that last jump shot by Jim Coyle, Gary, was picture perfect.
Jimmy is only a sophomore at 6'4", so he is certainly going to be a big star in the Colonial League before he's done playing basketball.
Now we see the Saucon pressure as Crouthamel will harass the ball out of bounds. There's a steal by Big Shawn.
Madej from the outside. That would have been a 3. Couldn't get it to fall.
It would have been off a turnover. Could have given Saucon Valley a momentum switch.
You know, Rich Mattis told us, Dan, that he wanted some of these other guys to start shooting a little more, and they're doing just that, and they're being pretty effective doing it. That shot by Coyle doesn't go.
Nice check off by Rudolph as he comes down with the rebound.
Crouthamel where he wants the ball. He gets it back outside. He gets it back inside. He's up and in.
Good judgment by number 13, Eric McKee, to get the ball right back in with an entry pass to Crouthamel as he felt the defense on his hip. He took it up strong, Gary.
And Danny got a little bit better position on the second pass than he had on the first. That was a good play. A little 2-on-2 basketball.
But the guard picked it up, Gary. Good basketball smarts by McKee to know when and when not to get the ball into Crouthamel.
This is Welker out of the corner. That won't go. Rebound Crouthamel.
Crouthamel doing it both ends of the floor.
He has been a force. 21-19. A minute and 5 to go. Can they tie it here? Yes, Lip.
Lips with the soft-handed, left-handed jumper.
Well, this is the way the first quarter ended. Southern Lehigh with a basketball and the game tied. Southern Lehigh made the basket at the end of the first quarter to lead by 2. They may be playing for 1 right here again. Dan, a well-played, from the terms of strategy here in the first quarter and first half.
Well, I really like what Saucon Valley did, Gary. They got Southern Lehigh out of their press, made them change their defense from man to zone, and it has caused problems for the Southern Lehigh Spartans.
There's no forcing of action at all this year either, so nothing wrong with what's happening out there on the floor. They'll start moving now. Ball's in the hands of Jimmy Coyle, their leading scorer. Welker for three. It won't go. Rebound. We've got a foul with 1 second on the clock. A foul on the day. No shot, however. His first, team second. It'll be an out-of-bounds play for Southern Lehigh underneath the basket.
Mark Campbell fought for position desperately as that ball trickled off the rim.
Do you think he's intense, Dan?
I like the glasses, Gary.
Oh, he looks like he is very intense, Eric Madej. Chris Nye comes into the ball game, 6'5" senior. Somebody has to leave, though. A six-man offense is... oh, it's a two-shot foul.
Yeah, he was in the
he
act
was
of
shooting. All right.
Yes, he was.
Campbell on the line. Misses the first.
Campbell himself registering at the 6'4" mark, so they're big.
Boy, they're big right around the perimeter. That's the horn. That's the end of the first half of basketball. And we are all knotted up at 21-21. We'll put the numbers together for you. We'll be right back.
Make Whitehall Auto Parts the most important stop for your car. We're a major supplier of foreign and domestic auto and light truck parts and have one of the largest inventories in the Lehigh Valley. We also provide machine shop services and are equipped for complete engine rebuilding. Whitehall Auto Parts stands behind their products. Make your next stop at Whitehall Auto Parts, 2741 MacArthur Road in Whitehall. We're open weekdays 8 to 8, Saturday 8 to 4, and Sunday 9 to 4. Or phone 437-4604.
At last, a place where the entire family can have a great time. Baseball fans, test your skill at hardball or softball, where you hit to an open range. Or take advantage of our baseball instruction program. There's basketball, volleyball, speedball, video games, a children's party area, and a full-service snack bar at the Lehigh Valley's newest and largest family fun center, the Hitter's Edge, located just off MacArthur Road on Everhart Road, 1 mile north of Route 22.
Sheldon has finished his new book, but it's on the way home that the plot begins to thicken.
I'm your #1 fan.
Until she learns he's written off Misery Chastain.
You murdered her!
No, I didn't. Now Misery is going to get company.
Because if I die, you die.
But not before he rights a wrong.
Misery's alive!
Kathy Bates, James Caan, Stephen King's Misery.
Hi, this is Jolly Joe Timmer, reminding you to watch the Jolly Joe Timmer Show right here on Cable 4, Twin County in the Lehigh Valley, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. That's the Jolly Joe Timmer Show for the best in polka music.
You are watching the Lehigh Valley's company of choice, Twin County Cable 4.
All right, for a pleasant, no-pressure car buying experience and Chrysler 5-star quality service after the sale, stop at Rarick Dodge in Bath. Let Roger, Joan, or Gary assist you in your next vehicle purchase Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They won't just sell you any car or truck. They'll help you select the right vehicle for you. Easy to find from anywhere in the Lehigh Valley. Just exit Route 22 on the Route 512 and turn right. It's just minutes to Rarick Dodge. Remember, for a clean deal, come to Bath. Come to Rarick Dodge. And we are back here at halftime, and happy birthday wish to the man to my left. He is 40 years, normally I'd say young today, but that's just not the case. 40 years old today. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. You look good for a man.
Just remember one thing. My age has not caught up to your waistline yet.
Well, he makes an invalid point. Let's take a look at the statistics here for the first half, the individual scoring. And Crouthamel Dan has been a real force, and Southern Lehigh spreading it around a little bit more.
Little surprising, Gary, with all the size Southern Lehigh has, and the scoring is spread out. They have not utilized the inside strength on the offensive end of the backboard.
I like the way that Saucon Valley has played the first half of basketball. They have gotten a lot of contribution out of everybody on the floor.
Well, the key in their offensive spark has been the second and third shots they've gotten off the backboard.
Southern Lehigh physically stronger. They played 7 people, in fact 8 people in the first half. That may take its toll a little bit on a Saucon Valley team playing without one of their starters, Jason Hoppus. Let's take a look at the team statistics. And Dan, you'll see why it's a tie game. It's pretty darn close across the board. Southern Lehigh out-rebounding Saucon, but you would expect that with their side.
That's the key. The reason Southern Lehigh is tied right now is because of their offensive rebounding ability. And I would think the type of game that Southern Lehigh played, they should be up by about 10 points, but they're not.
Neither coach going to be very happy about the free throw situation. Southern Lehigh missed their 2 opportunities right at the end of the first half. That would have put them up by a couple. And Saucon Valley only 3 out of 7. All of that negated by the one Southern Lehigh 3-point play, so that has tied everything up at 21-21. So it's been a real good first Colonial basketball game for us this year. The other games being played tonight in the Colonial League. Palisades is at Catasauqua, Bangor at Penargil, Salisbury is over at Wilson, and Nazareth has a bye in the East Penn Conference. Freedom's at Parkland, Phillipsburg is at Emmaus, Whitehall is at Liberty, and the Becca High Allen game not being played because of illness. Deeriff is at Central, and Easton is at Northampton, and the Deeriff game I don't believe is being played either tonight because of illness. 21-21. I'll be back with the old man right after this timeout.
They have been in love before, but nothing could prepare them for each other.
I can't concentrate.
Every look is seduction.
Does this excite you? Yes.
Every moment is obsession.
I think I've been hypnotized.
Mickey Rourke, Kim Basinger, 9.5 weeks. Passion so powerful it's obsessive. 9.5 weeks on Viewer's Choice.
We're really busy at Pennsylvania Stage Company getting ready for a brand new holiday show.
That's right. Ho, 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 the Christmas show. A new musical review that takes a look at the other side of Christmas.
Like what happens when the lights on the tree don't work.
How does Santa get down that chimney anyway?
And who ate all the cookies and milk I left for Santa last Christmas?
I often ponder that same question. It's playing at the Pennsylvania Stage Company through December 29th.
So stop by and bring the whole gang.
We are back here at Saucon Valley High School, and usually at halftime I like to take the analysts, whether it be Dick Tracy or Dan Marakovitz, and put them into the huddle. Dick? Dick?
I'm Dan.
You're Dan. Dan, go into the Saucon Valley huddle for a second. What do you think the discussion was at halftime in the locker room?
Well, they're going to stay 3-2 zone. That was quite effective. Rich Mattis's biggest concern, Gary, is breaking the pressure and getting Southern Lehigh in a half-court basketball game. If they can do that, they can beat the Spartans.
All right, how about for Southern Lehigh? What little adjustments might they make?
They have to do 2 things, Gary. They must front Crouthamel low. If they don't, he's going to eat them up defensively. And on the offensive end of the floor, look for the Spartans to go a little bit more inside with their size.
All right, let's see if that's exactly what the teams do. We don't see any changes out there, except defensively, as Danny mentioned. Hamilton is starting to front Crouthamel. The starters are the same for both ball clubs. There's the problem with fronting Crouthamel. You pass behind him. He gets the ball twice up and in.
When you front, Gary, you need weak side help. That time the Spartan defense fell asleep as we have a foul at midcourt. But credit some of that to the athleticism of Shawn Crouthamel.
The foul is going to be called on Brunnabend. That's his second, team's first. So they did put Hamilton in front of Crouthamel, and they passed the ball over top. The problem, Dan, if he gets the basketball, somehow, some way he's going to score, because even if he misses, he's going to get his own rebound. That's what he did there.
Well, you have to have the weak side help, Gary. And that time it wasn't there, along with better pressure on the ball, so that pass cannot be made inside that easily.
So somebody has to drop off their man from the weak side, and that didn't happen that time. Nice little pass inside. Well, Dan, you look like you're 100% right. They go inside, did Southern Lehigh, and they fronted Crouthamel, so we're tied at 23 all.
They went inside from the weak side.
Crouthamel, a little too hard.
Chris Taylor made the score, now comes up with the rebound.
There's a jump shot off the glass, up and in by McKee. It's Bryan McKee, 20, Jim Coyle, 32, Chris Taylor, 34, 40 Welker, and 52 Hamilton for Southern Lehigh. Over on the Saucon Valley side, it's 10 Brunnabend, 13 Madej, Rudolph, 32, Lip, 34, and 44 Crouthamel. Turnover against the Panthers.
Saucon Valley still not settled against that pressure.
Dan, all night long, it's been an uphill battle for the Saucon Valley Panthers, as they have never led in this game.
There's a double low post offensively being employed by Southern Lehigh in an attempt to get the ball inside and take advantage of that size.
That's a walk.
Jump shot, left-hander, is up and in by Bryan McKee. So he has 2 field goals here in the third period. The first basketball player to reach double figures with 10. And we're going to get a Saucon Valley timeout called by Rich Mattis. We'll call for a break. It's 27-23, Southern Lehigh.
Confusing, isn't it? All the models, all the different prices. We'll make it easier for you. Lehigh Valley Ford has priced 492 Escort LXs for just one price, $9,995, or about $199 a month with $1,000 down cash or trade, tax and tags. The 2-door, 4-door, 5-door LX and wagon all have air 5-speed power windows, stereos, and more. Over 400 cars and trucks under one roof. Lehigh Valley Ford, part of the Vinart dealerships on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
Right now, the Money Store is offering qualified homeowners fixed-rate home equity loans as low as 7.5%. We guarantee with our 7.5% loan, your rate will never go up. Call the Money Store, 1-800-LOAN-YES.
This is Phil Rizzuto for the Money Store, wishing you a holiday season filled with the joys of family, heart, and home.
The Allentown Sports Medicine Clinic is located at 1730 Chew Street in Allentown. They offer the team approach to the athletic injury. The Allentown Sports Medicine Clinic has been providing medical care to area high school athletes for over 10 years. Located across from the fairgrounds in the west end of Allentown, one of our very fine sponsors.
Gary, Coach Mattis wanted that timeout because of the easy shooting that the Southern Lehigh Spartans displayed, especially by number 20, Bryan McKee, who hit that shot from the right side so easily without a whole lot of defensive pressure. Look for a defensive adjustment by Saucon Valley.
Southern Lehigh keeps the 1-2-1-1, full court pressure on. It's been effective, and it may be effective again. Almost lost. Brunnabend gets it. Now he's got to get it across midcourt. He does. Crouthamel drops the ball off to Lip. Over to Madej, 17-footer. That won't go. Rebound controlled by Coyle. Coyle up the floor to McKee. It won't go.
Good hustle by number 34 for Saucon Valley. I'm sorry, number 32, Jeff Rudolph.
That's the third foul on Bryan McKee. First team foul of the second half.
Well, that was a frustration foul. That good play was by Bryan Lip. Check that. As McKee missed a shot, came back in frustrated and committed the foul because he missed that left-handed putt.
Coming in is Nick McKee, the 6'3" senior. Saucon having problems. They're getting the ball very deep in the corner, and it's hard to pass back with very little room. So this time they get the ball up the court, and Rudolph plays it nicely back to Brunnabend, and the pressure is broken.
Southern Lehigh back to a man-to-man defense.
Inside, Crouthamel. Well, it's obvious where they want to go. We're going to get a foul. This one's going to be on Hamilton. for Rob. That's his second, team second.
Textbook inside move by Shawn Crouthamel as he catches the ball, drop steps, goes up strong, and is fouled.
27-23, 5:13, third period. We'll be back on tomorrow night with high school wrestling at 10 o'clock. Nazareth versus Phillipsburg. That should be ugly. And we'll have it for you. Scott Barr will be making his first appearance of the year. And then at the turn of the new year, we will be back with Scads of Sports.
27-24, Saucon creeps to within 3 of the Spartans from Southern Lehigh.
Crouthamel with 12 in the ball game.
And they're back to a 2-on-2 zone.
Coyle gets the ball over to Taylor. He's been kind of quiet. Little jump shot up and in nicely by Welker.
Good strong move to his left as Welker extends and nails the field goal.
Welker has his average. Ball thrown away by Crouthamel.
Coach Mattis not happy about the way they're handling the pressure.
Brunnabend, I think, thought the ball might have been tipped by Southern Lehigh.
Well, we can't go upstairs with that call.
That's out of our vision as high as some of these guys are getting. A jump shot by Coyle out of the corner, no?
Unless we want to depend on Mike Trombetta, Gary.
Good job that time, Dan, by Rudolph in blocking out for the rebound. Foul's going to be called on Nick McKee, his first, team's third.
Let's get a look at the press again. Southern Lehigh matching up real nicely in the back, causing Saucon Valley fits and trying to get the ball down the floor. Now Crouthamel breaks the trap, and it's easy, and that's a backcourt.
Backcourt violation.
That time they broke the press, Gary, but broke down mentally.
And if you're wondering why it was backcourt, it's because he had not established his footing in the front court. He was in the air, but he was not established. Good call by Ron Singer. Jump shot out of the corner. That one hurts the Southern Lehigh Panthers, dropped by Dan Welker.
Shots are too easy, and Welker had too much time. I think that was a two-pointer, Gary. I didn't see the signal by the official.
32-24 is the score.
Here comes the press, as now Saucon Valley brings 4 men up to beat the pressure.
It was a three-pointer by Welker. That's his second of the night.
Crouthamel fighting for position. Hamilton now plays in front of him.
Off the hand of Crouthamel. Let's watch the three-pointer again, and it was close. See where the feet are. Well, he was just let alone. That's definitely a three-pointer.
Mike Trombetta with some good directing, Gary.
That jump shot does not go.
Saucon wants to run. Southern Lehigh back on defense, man-to-man.
I'll tell you, Hamilton and Crouthamel are having a battle on the inside.
And they're letting them play.
This is usually where Saucon makes their move. They've fallen behind like this in every quarter, and then they've managed to come back and tie it up by the end of the quarter.
Ooh, nice behind-the-back dribble by Brunnabend.
Can't get the ball to fall. It's rebound controlled by McKee off of Hamilton.
Brunnabend tried to make the move, but couldn't get the ball to drop, as Southern Lehigh now wants a timeout.
And Southern Lehigh leads at 32-24, but Bob Schaefer sees some things that he doesn't like. We hope you watch one of our commercials that you do like. We'll be right back.
December 19th is your last chance to see The Cure, recorded exclusively for pay-per-view. Debuting Thursday, December 26th, it's the sensational Dwight Yoakam, live from Ventura, California. Thursday night concerts, the only full-length concert series on television. Every Thursday night, and it's only on pay-per-view cable TV.
Viewer's Choice is your front row seat for The Cure.
When we come back during the new year, our opening ball game January 3rd, Phillipsburg at Easton. Tom Fisher having to rebuild from scratch with Eric Leppert moving out of the Phillipsburg area. So he'll bring his team over against Easton. That usually is a great basketball game. And then we'll have Becca High at Whitehall on the 7th. Friday, then, the big game in the Colonial League. Nazareth at Salisbury. We'll get our first look at Antoine Hubbard. January 14th, Allen at Northampton. So that's the way things look. Our first four ball games of 91.
And by that January 10th date, Gary, Coach Pollock should have his 500th win.
What a feat that is. That is 499 more than Dan.
And Gary.
Combined. Coyle with the jumper.
What a sweet jumper.
Foul's going to be on Nick McKee. I've got him for 2. That's the team's 4th.
34-24. Southern Lehigh on top. 2:52 left in this third quarter as Coach Schaefer likes what he sees on the scoreboard.
People may be wondering why he called a timeout. Things were going his way. What might he have wanted to talk about there?
I think a little offensive adjustment, Gary. Take the good shot. You're up by 8. Just a little settling timeout, and it worked.
Good pressure defense by Southern Lehigh. It has haunted the Panthers all night long.
Take notice, Gary, when Saucon does not go inside the Crouthamel, they fall behind. Southern Lehigh back to its patented man-to-man.
Rudolph set a pretty good screen there, but it was not seen by the outside. So a nice little drive and shot by Bryan Lip.
He goes in with authority with that left hand, Gary. He's deceptively quick.
Saucon Valley beat Bangor on Tuesday night with a 3-point shot by Crouthamel, a bit of a throw when they were down by 1 with 1 second on the clock.
Well, that'll cause nightmares for the losing coach.
Bill Pencil, he's been around a while himself. And, of course, Southern Lehigh romped over Wilson as they beat them on Tuesday night by almost a 30-point margin.
Coyle thought about it.
8-point lead, 2 minutes to go, third period.
Southern Lehigh content now, Gary, to take their time offensively.
Jumper Coyle, 18 feet away.
Nice and soft. Gives them a 10-point lead.
And he slowly is getting it up to his average. He has 10 points in the game. Foul's going to be on Nick McKee, his 3rd, team's 5th. You know, when we look at Coyle, he's had 19, 20, 10, 16, 23, 15 for the 5 games or 6 games played by Southern Lehigh. So his worst night was a 10-point performance, but he's had some big nights, 23 being his biggest. Coming into the ball game is Mark Campbell, a 6'4 junior.
He came down with a key rebound in that first half, Gary. Went to the foul line and converted 1 out of 2.
I guess when you have chairs on the sidelines, you don't have a bench rule because both these coaches have been off their seats. Jump shot by Brunnabend.
That's a good sign for Saucon Valley. What bench rule, Gary?
Yeah, spoken like a true coach.
I totally dislike that bench rule. It was tough on the knees,
You
too.
would have been more out of control if you would have been allowed the pace.
You work off that nervous energy that way, though. Of course, that would have gotten you into shape.
A 3-pointer, a killer by Welker. He has 3 3-pointers tonight, 15 points, 39-28. Boy, that one hurt, Dan.
Well, they're up by 11, double digits.
So Southern Lehigh not letting Saucon come back as they have in the first 2 periods. That shot does not go. They're going to get a layup here. Taylor up and in.
Boy, they missed the offensive opportunity on the miss. The door comes open, Gary, on the layup. That's a tactic used by Rich Mattis at times.
Another door is open, too, and that's a 13-point lead by Southern Lehigh.
And what's eventually going to happen here, Saucon Valley's going to have to make a defensive switch and try to match up man-to-man against Southern Lehigh, and that's not what Coach Mattis wants to do.
Crouthamel, he's been kind of quiet in this period. The defensive change has hurt him. Dan, they got the one play where they passed over the top, but that's all.
That's right. The defensive adjustment by Coach Schaefer at halftime has worked to pay high dividends for the Spartans from Southern Lehigh. Crouthamel has been pretty silent here in the third quarter.
And Brunnabend's been quiet tonight. He averaged 13. He only has 2. There's Brunnabend. Almost walked with the basketball. Madej has it. Madej's guarded by Coyle. Boy, every time Saucon turns around, they look at somebody about 6'2". 1 second, that's going to come up short by Madej at the end of 3 periods. It's Southern Lehigh 41, Saucon Valley 28. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Where would the action be without cable? In just 1 month, a subscription to cable gives you over 1,200 hours of sports programming you wouldn't be able to see anywhere else. Cable contributes to life.
Hi, I'm Charles Tan. Please join us on the Mandarin Chef Chinese Cooking Show.
Join Charles Tang and his Master Chef on The Mandarin Chef, Fridays at 7:30 on Twin County Cable 4.
You are watching the Lehigh Valley's company of choice, Twin County Cable 4.
Craig Bortz has been the scorekeeper at Southern Lehigh for 23 years, and he told me that he has personally bought 2 cars from Rarick Dodge, well, a car and a van to be exact, and he had nothing but great service from Roger Rarick, Chrysler's 5-star quality dealer in Bath, 60 years of experience in the sales and service of quality Dodge products. And it's not just Roger, it's Joan, it's Gary. They're all waiting to assist you. They're easy to find from anywhere in the Lehigh Valley. Route 22 on the Route 512, turn right. Minutes to Rarick Dodge, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 8. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5. For a clean deal, come to Bath. Come to Rarick Dodge. Dan?
Gary, you know, if Bortz from Southern Lehigh, a math teacher who is very analytical, buys at Rarick Dodge, it must be a good deal.
All right, I guess that makes it true. 39% shooting by Saucon is not helping them get back in this ball game. 51% by Southern Lehigh. Dan, that was a good Southern Lehigh period.
Boy, was it ever. Defensively, they really cut off the inside on Crouthamel. As a result, they jumped to a 13-point lead, and now they're playing a real tight man-to-man, allowing Saucon to dribble from side to side and eat the clock.
Jeff Rudolph is a pretty good screen setter out there. He'll be utilized probably a little more as the season progresses. Crouthamel, he wants to take a shot. He does. He drops it.
Boy, it was double-teamed again. I don't know how he got the shot off. He fumbled the ball a little bit, but he scores.
Now you see Saucon Valley pressuring Southern Lehigh. They get the ball up to Coyle. Coyle drops it to Welker. Welker loses it from Hamilton, and it's back to Rudolph. Up the floor, thrown away into the hands of Taylor.
Taylor threw it away, but eventually came up with the basketball, and Saucon needed that turnover to cut the lead to 9, and now you see the defensive change by Coach Mattis. They're forced to play Southern Lehigh man-to-man.
This could be difficult. Mismatch in size. They get out inside the Coyle. Bodies flying all over the place.
Here comes Brunnabend. They want to run.
Good pass down inside the Lip. Lip trying to force one over top of a couple of the big hands.
Had to change his shot, Gary. Did not have a good angle, but the size once again was a factor.
Rich Mattis can't fault the effort tonight by his ball club. Neither can Bobby Schaefer. They have played very hard basketball. Coyle, he's tough. Brunnabend took a shot in the jaw.
He got the elbow coming down. Wasn't a flagrant Karl Malone foul, Gary, but it hurt.
No, the jaw is still attached.
No stitches. But you have to like the shot by Coyle. Picture perfect.
And he's got that size so he can pull up and shoot that jumper. Brunnabend only 5'9". Not too much Bryan can do about it, except obviously try to get his jaw in the way.
It's Kodak material. I mean the shot.
They're not a sponsor. 43-30.
Southern Lehigh allowing Saucon to pass the ball from the perimeter.
16 feet away off the back of the iron by Madej. Eric tries to take it down the lane again, back outside. That shot off the back of the iron won't go. We're going to get a foul. It's going to be called on 34 Taylor.
Gary, that's one of the few times that Saucon Valley was able to get a second and third shot at their offensive end of the floor.
Counting team fouls, that's the 6th by Southern Lehigh. Only 1 by Saucon Valley. They may want to get Southern Lehigh in a 1-and-1 as this game progresses. Madej again with the loose ball.
Madej's hustling, Gary. He's really playing hard, both ends of the floor.
Brunnabend has been somewhat frustrated in this ball game.
If you notice, when Crouthamel is not fronted, he's way on top of the key, almost at the foul line. As soon as he goes below the broken line, Hamilton will front him, and that has been the difference in this ball game.
We'll see what the difference is. Right now, it's 13. 5:20, fourth period. Stay with it.
It's true. This January, Arnold's coming back to Viewer's Choice in the sequel everyone's been waiting for, Terminator 2.
Come with me if you want to live.
Thrilling, outrageous, exciting, spectacular. This is one movie worth waiting for. Schwarzenegger. Coming into your home sooner than you thought possible. You have to see it to believe it.
Trust me.
What a way to start the year. Terminator 2, this January on Viewer's Choice.
Two good assistant coaches working here tonight. Glenn Brown with Rich Mattis and Kurt Zellner over at Southern Lehigh. Glenn, of course, the father of Matt Brown. Matt playing some basketball at Muhlenberg College. Matt was a real key to this ball club last year, and he has been sorely missed by Rich Mattis. He's trying to find somebody to help do some of the things that Matt did. Let's talk a little bit about the defense now that Southern Lehigh might go to.
Well, up 13, Gary, there's no reason to pressure the ball, and maybe Coach Schaefer switched into a real tight zone to force Saucon to shoot from the perimeter.
They have not gotten a three-point field goal tonight. That one taken by Madej does not drop. But I'll tell you, they're on about their 5th opportunity here to score. Lip has it swatted away. On the move, the Spartans. Drop down, McKee up and in, he's fouled.
Transition basketball as they came off with the rebound. Number 20 for Southern Lehigh. Bryan McKee made the nice move down the floor, up and in to get the three-point play.
45-30. Southern Lehigh has outscored Saucon Valley here in the second half, 24-9.
Ooh. There comes Lip with the basketball. I'm sorry. Yes.
This is Brunnabend. He tries to put it up over top of Hamilton. Gets his own rebound, however. That shot won't go. 1 for 8 shooting in this quarter.
Welker with the rebound. Southern Lehigh will be patient.
They have the clock and the scoreboard in their favor, 45-30 and 4:20.
And more importantly, the size. They're running a low post offense, Gary, where they're going to shake inside and try to get the ball off that initial screen.
It's almost a freeze type offense, Dan, as they're going double low post on both sides, and they're just shooting people out, running a lot of time off that clock. Saucon Valley trying to overplay, but not being able to do it inside Hamilton. There's a foul on Brunnabend. Thinking he'll afford, Dan, to have Brunnabend foul out, and that's his 4th.
Well, Bryan trying to make something happen defensively, took a high-risk move came up with a foul, wanted the basketball, but good call.
Dan, they almost have to get themselves in a position where they can send Southern Lehigh out of the foul line. They only have committed 3 team fouls. We talked earlier in the year about this rule sometimes hurting you because you can't get the team to the line.
You play good defense and you're penalized if you're behind because you need the ball and you have to foul to get the ball, which is going to take time off the clock, which our viewers are seeing right now.
And that's what they're doing. They're picking up those fouls. Eric Madej, his second, team's 4th. So they still have 3 to give.
I mean, the best example we can give you is Coach Ronnie Hassler at Whitehall, whose team hardly ever fouls.
And Saucon hasn't fouled much tonight, except right now when they need to. Crouthamel's first, team's 5th.
Well, we're going to see it 2 more times in a hurry.
That's what Rich Mattis is yelling. Keep doing it means keep fouling. Still no shot.
45-30, 3:32 left in this contest.
They've taken about 1 minute and 18 seconds off the clock in this possession, Dan. Boy, Brunnabend, he has to know he has 4 fouls, and he probably could have been called for 1 there. That foul's on Crouthamel. Still out of bounds underneath. No, it is the 6th-team foul. All right, I was right.
Not a lot to describe here, Gary. Strategy is to foul and put the team on the line in a hurry.
Foul's going to be on Madej.
There was a bump and a grab and a foul.
So you can describe it. Bump, grab, foul.
Sometimes. All right, number 40 will go to the line for Southern Lehigh. Dan Welker. Nice touch for a big guy, Gary.
And only a sophomore. Boy, we can't emphasize that enough. Bryan McKee tonight, 12 points, a sophomore. Jim Coyle, 12 points, a sophomore. Dan Welker, 16 points, a sophomore.
Take a look at the shot. Very similar to Coyle's shot. Nice extension, excellent rotation, and a nice touch for a big man. Watch it.
Dan, this team's going to haunt this league for 3 more years.
Pollock better get his 500th win in a hurry. I'm sure he's worried, Gary.
Yeah. Brunnabend playing with 4 fouls. They've got to put the ball up rather quickly. Madej to Lip. Lip outside. Rudolph down the lane. Rudolph pump fake up. Won't go.
1 shot and done all night long for the Panthers, which has been a big factor here with Southern Lehigh pulling out by 17.
1 for 9 in the 4th period for the Panthers. So the shooting problems that they didn't have in the first half, Dan, came back to haunt them a bit in the second half, but probably good defense did that for them as Jimmy Coyle turns around, lays it up and in. He has 14.
And we just saw some good, patient offense by Coach Schaefer's team at the other end of the floor.
This is going to look like a blowout in the Morris paper, and this was a closer game than people are going to realize.
Gary,
way outside. That won't go for Lip. Air ball.
It appears that Southern Lehigh's in a box and 1 with number 34, Chris Taylor, playing Brunnabend man-to-man.
Well, Chris Nye's only 6'5", so he comes into the ball game and replaces a 6'5" player. Campbell back in, Mark Campbell. Rudolph will sit down. Coming in is number 14, Mike Stempley, a 5'11" junior. Number 12, Jason Stern, a 5'9" senior. So everybody's going to see a little action now. 31 is Jason Hoppus is in there, the 6'5" senior who was sick and didn't play. Down inside and back outside. So Southern Lehigh will hold the basketball a bit.
Coyle could have taken that shot, Gary. Good judgment, though, on the young sophomore's ability to shoot the ball. Sometimes a shooter, even though you shouldn't take the shot this late in the game, will have a tendency to do that, but he didn't.
Stempley commits the foul. Chris Taylor goes to the line.
Crouthamel still banging the boards as Brunnabend will bring the basketball up.
Brunnabend's a junior and Crouthamel's a junior, so they've got some youth out there too. That shot doesn't go. Stempley's a junior. He's got the basketball. Stern, number 12, is a senior. That shot by Hoppus does go. So Jason Hoppus, the 6'5 senior, gets on the board.
Hoppus showed a nifty inside move as he faked right, went left, put the ball up softly, and it happened to drop for him.
Let's take another look at the effort by Hoppus. Hoppus would have started tonight's ball game, except Rich Mattis says he just was feeling under the weather. He didn't think he'd play at all.
There's the move as it falls. Doesn't get the three-point play, and Southern Lehigh has the basketball.
Final 135.
Coyle was tripped, but still has control, and Southern Lehigh will wind the clock down.
Southern Lehigh, interestingly enough, Dan, when they clear their bench, they bring in a senior-laden team, which is unusual. Down inside, nice pass. Oh, what a block by Hoppus on 9. 1:10 on the clock.
Looked like an easy layup. Hoppus wouldn't have any of it as he rejected that ball.
He did that.
In
He's
nice
a big
fashion.
kid. Hoppus is a
yes, he is.
good-sized kid. This is Campbell. That's a foul.
That's a check. That's a foul in any sport.
Let's watch Hoppus playing good defense.
Southern Lehigh takes time. Nice behind the back. Good pass.
Boom. Good swat. Hoppus with the foul at the line is Mark Campbell. Mark had a chance to get a 2-point halftime lead for his ball club and missed both foul shots.
Good hustle by Coyle as he took the ball out of Hoppus's hands. However, was out of bounds when he came down, and Saucon Valley will have possession.
1 minute to play here. Final ball game of 91. Wrestling tomorrow night, but for our basketball fans, there's a block by Coyle. Let's run down the scoring for you as Coyle is called for the foul. For Saucon Valley, 2 points by Brunnabend, 4 by Madej. Hoppus has 2 by Rudolph, 6 by, I'm checking, make it 8 by Lip. And the leading scorer for Saucon Valley, Shawn Crouthamel. He finishes tonight with 14 points, although he's still out there on the floor and there's still 50 minutes to play. Foul shot by Hoppus is made. We'll run down Southern Lehigh's for you in just a bit.
You have to believe, Gary, if Hoppus would have played, this game possibly would have had a different outcome as he gives them added board strength.
Certainly gives them a lot more size. With the basketball is Coyle. He'll take, well, thought he might take that jump shot. He doesn't really need to do that. They're up by 15. And doing a nice job keeping the ball away from Saucon Valley, even keeping them from fouling. Campbell outside to McKee.
18 seconds.
And we'll run down their scoring as they continue the freeze, and now a foul. Bryan McKee, 12. Jimmy Coyle, 14. Taylor, 6. Welker, 17, the leading scorer on the night so far. That's all the scoring for Southern Lehigh. So the 1, 2, 3 sophomores account for 17, 31, 43 points. Chris Nye will get a chance to get on the board.
So we can definitely say, Gary, that Southern Lehigh should be near the top for the next few years in the Colonial League.
Dan, and I think they would cause some problems this year. Their size alone, you would think, would be a real headache for opposing teams. There's a nice move inside by Hoppus. And we have a sub in the ball game for Saucon Valley. That was number 23, Eric Lawrence. So we want to get his name out there before we sign off. Dan, there's certainly potential in the Saucon Valley Ball Club. Southern Lehigh, they're getting to the peak of their game. They may very well make some noise.
Nazareth, Catasauqua, Salisbury, look out. This Southern Lehigh team has size and good shooting, and once you combine those two, Gary, that's going to spell success. The other factor about this Southern Lehigh team, they're young, and they're only going to get better as the season progresses. A tough loss for Coach Rich Mattis. Always a gentleman, Gary, when we come over here to Saucon Valley. He wanted his team to bounce back, get on a winning column here, but Southern Lehigh would not allow that with their size advantage on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Did not allow the Saucon Valley Panthers to get any second shots offensively. And once they shut down Crouthamel in the second half, Gary, the rest was academic as they pulled away with their pressure from their 1-1-2-1 full court press.
All right, here's how the team scoring went for Saucon Valley. 15 field goals, 6 for 12 from the foul line for their 36 points. Their league record now goes to 1-3. They are 2-4 overall. For Southern Lehigh, 49 points on 22 field goals, 3 of those three-pointers all by Welker. 2 for 8 from the foul line. Their record goes to 5-2 overall. They are.
It was a long while. It was